Hey there, lovely Galactic Voyage fans. Guess what? Today, we're going to be looking at one of the most thrilling and intense space competitions we've ever seen. Guess what? We're talking about the new space race between the US and China. It's not just about who gets to the moon first, it's a high-stakes battle to establish a long-term presence on the lunar surface. So, get ready for the ride of your life as we dive deep into this cosmic showdown and explore what it means for the future of space exploration. Welcome to Part 1, China's big win on the moon. So let's start with China. In 2020, China made headlines with their Chang'e 5 mission, which was a huge success. They brought back the first lunar rock sample since the 1970s. This wasn't just a show of strength, it was a clear signal of China's growing ambitions in space. And they're not stopping there either. China has big plans. They're aiming to send astronauts to the moon by 2030 and build a lunar base by 2035. And where do they want to set up shop? The moon's south pole is where all the good stuff is, like water ice. This is a really big deal. It could be the key to long-term space exploration because there might be water on the moon. And there's more. So, you might be wondering, why the South Pole? Well, there are a few reasons why this area is so special. I bet you're wondering why they're heading to the South Pole. Well, this area is thought to have vast reserves of water ice, which is like gold in space terms. Water can be used for drinking, but it can also be split into hydrogen and oxygen to create rocket fuel. So having a base near the South Pole could be crucial for future missions to Mars and beyond. It's like setting up a gas station in the middle of nowhere, absolutely essential for those long road trips. Part 2, the pressure on NASA and the Artemis Program. Now, let's have a little chat about NASA. They're feeling the heat. Poor things, with China making such rapid progress. The lovely folks at NASA have big plans for the Artemis Program. They're aiming to send astronauts back to the moon, and they're even hoping to make it all the way to the South Pole. What do they have in mind? The lovely folks at NASA have set their sights on an exciting new mission to establish a sustainable human presence on the moon and set up the Gateway, a space station orbiting the moon that'll serve as a hub for deeper space missions. The Artemis program is an exciting one. They're aiming to land the first woman and the next man on the moon by 2024. But with China advancing so quickly, it's time for NASA to step up its game. We'd also like to share some extra info with you. The lovely folks at NASA have come up with the Artemis Accords to keep things peaceful and cooperative. They promote the peaceful use of space resources and discourage territorial claims on the moon. But here's the thing. China and Russia haven't signed these accords, which makes us wonder how international law will play out in space. It's like the Wild West out there, and we're all waiting with bated breath to see how things will play out. Part 3, rising tensions in space. This new space race isn't just about planting flags, it's about testing the limits of international law, which is pretty exciting. The Outer Space Treaty of 1967, signed by over 100 countries including the US and China, is there to make sure that no nation can claim sovereignty over the moon. But what if both countries try to set up shop in the same spot? That could get tricky, and there's a chance that military tensions in space might arise. With so much at stake, the moon could become the next big geopolitical battleground. We'd also like to share some extra info with you. It's not just about defending satellites. The military presence in space is about so much more than that. It's about keeping our country safe and making sure we have a strong global presence. It's so interesting to see how countries like the US, Russia, and China are developing military space technologies. They're looking into things like satellite-based weapons and anti-satellite missiles. This technology could turn space into a whole new kind of battlefield, which is why it's so important for countries to make sure they're in a good position. And there's more. Let's dive into Russia and China's nuclear power plans. China is teaming up with Russia to take things to the next level. They're even thinking about setting up a nuclear power unit on the moon's south pole. I'd love to know why. Solar panels are great, but they won't be enough for long-term lunar bases, especially in those shadowy regions where the sun doesn't shine. A nuclear power source, would be perfect for keeping those bases running 24/7. And there's more. Nuclear energy is a hot topic in space exploration for a good reason. The lovely folks at NASA are also looking into nuclear power systems for their lunar bases and even for future Mars missions. And the best part is, it would be so wonderful to have reliable, long-lasting energy to support human settlements in space. This could be a real game changer for how we live and work on other planets. What an exciting time for the space race. This new space race is about so much more than just science and exploration. It's about so much more than that. It's about power, strategy, and the future of our presence in space. It's so exciting. The friendly competition between the US and China will shape the next decade of space exploration. This friendly rivalry will help us reach new heights. We've got some extra info for you. The future space economy. It's so exciting to see what the future holds for space exploration. The Moon and Mars are no longer just places we go to learn more about our planet and universe. They're now the frontiers of a new space economy. Just think about it for a moment. All of these amazing things could be part of our future economy. Mining for water ice and rare elements, space tourism, and even manufacturing in space. Every new lunar base is a step closer to making this vision a reality. A big thank you to all of our wonderful Galactic Voyagers for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what the future holds for the space race. Please join the conversation below. See you in the next video.